We're all sitting here saying, please let them play with their handbrakes off. They're probably sitting there going, well, I'd love to be able to have the license to do something like that in an English shirt.
They made a semi-final and a final. They're allowed. I want to see some of that showboat.
Bring entertainment back to football.
Someone says I ain't playing well. Someone says I ain't, they should sell me a little bit or anything like that. I would use that as fuel. Some negative energy in there for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just that competitive edge. I don't know what it is.
And it's hard for you to then go and be.
And it would be hard for me. Yeah. If I saw that reporter, I'd pie him. The same as Cristiano did there. I'd pie him.
They can never do it like I. No. When you see man pull up and slide, man stepped in a room with legends, Rio and Steve. You know it's a vibe. Check the podcast. What you wanna know? Don't ask me. Go and ask Joe. If you're talking Premier League, he's on the front line and I gotta go. It's a vibe with five, and you already know what it is. It's a vibe with five, and you already know what it is. Vibe with five, and you already know what it is. It's a vibe with five, and you already know this.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this week's episode of Vibe with Five. We've got here myself, Joel Beya, with a lovely 5-star weekend with Arsenal. You got here Stephen Howson and Rio Ferdinand scraping a 1-0 win against West Ham. Fellas, let's talk about the game, man. You know what I mean?
The volume in his voice. Jesus.
How should I be talking? Monotone.
You've done all right. Well done. You had a good weekend. Well done.
Very good weekend. Very good weekend.
Energy weren't the same last weekend.
All right, we drew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You was on the floor last. You come in on your knees last week.
Allow it. Steve, let's start off with you, right? You were at the game, right? What did you think of United's performance overall? Obviously a fantastic bullet header by Marcus Rashford. But as a team in general, what are you seeing now that you like under Ten Hag's tenure?
The composure. There was at one point in the game, I was looking at Casemiro and Eriksen and I was going, these two just don't know what pressure is. They're just so calm. The way they play the football is they're literally, they can stand still. They know what's going on around them. They're so chill about everything. I thought United was a little bit deeper. I think it was because of Maguire. When you look at the performance versus Spurs, very similar sort of 11. But that back line was a lot further back. Maguire had steamed in a couple of times early doors, missed his man, left us 2v1 on a couple of occasions, but we swept up for it. Obviously, we did manage to keep a clean sheet. And he's shown his worth defensively. Last 10 minutes of the game, it was a little bit rough on it, last 10 minutes. But I thought we didn't exhibit the same level of control. When you look at how high Varane and Martinez have been playing, they've been 10, 15 yards into the opposition half. We was 30 yards further back, I thought.
Our centre-backs now, where their average position when we have possession is probably where Michael Carrick and Scholes used to play back in the day. It's that high. It's that, like, the pressure they're putting on teams to just make sure they condense all the space if the ball turns over to the opposition. It's phenomenal, really. And I think about if I play today and I've got to be that high, that it's like very different to when we were playing. Sorry, Steve, go on.
The balls that you could put through in those areas, though, would, I think they'd be pretty handy. I was
going to say when you shine,
I'll be getting 5 to 10 assists a year from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought there was not quite the same level of control. And I think Ten Hag, I think we've said this a few times, haven't we? He's been getting some absolute 10 out of 10 decisions. The big decisions I think he's got bang on. But his subs are still, it might be the options he's got. I think Lindelof was out with sickness. I don't know what the script with Antony was. He was in the crowd. He wasn't even on the bench. But the subs that he brought on.
Was it for that bit of skill, do you think?
I don't think so. I think it was probably just
that went mad online, isn't it?
Come on, mate. Robbie was so upset with that.
It's because he couldn't do it was more the issue, I think, underneath. Because he could never, ever, ever do a skill like that, let alone pull it off.
I had no issue with it whatsoever. It drew 2 players towards him. Casemiro made a run. The final ball wasn't there. But I want my wingers to have risk. I want them to try stuff like that. That's why you pay big bucks.
I just think it's because of where Man United are at the moment. Like, it's not like you guys are like the team.
We won 3-0.
Wait. It's not like you got the utmost confidence. You've said it before. Even though you're beating teams, it can still feel a little bit fragile. So if you're doing a couple pirouettes, right, like you're Zinedine Zidane, and you're not 100% sure yet, and the pass goes out, it's going to stand out a little bit more. However,
how many players have come to United, put that shirt on, and it's been
Cristiano Ronaldo was the same. He'll come and he'll do a lot of skills, but it was a different time back then. You lot were on top then. So there's time, there's space to learn, there's room to learn. I used to see players do that at Arsenal. Sometimes you see people like overplaying a little bit, but it was okay.
Like Helder, remember him? Before your time with it, maybe.
Yeah, no, definitely. But so for me, it was, I understand why people were annoyed. Overall, I think he's been a good
Fans
player.
weren't annoyed. Stretford End loved it.
Well,
the only people who was annoyed was those with a
on
mic.
Twitter and on Twitter as well.
I just think I want to see skills.
Joel, just
I
watch his
scream.
Twitter
If
football.
I wish they could film me in the studio because or at home, I am a lunatic when it comes to skills or a bit of showboating or whatever. But you want to see the end product. You want to see it get to the. There's got to be a purpose behind when you're doing it. I understand that, and I think so. You look at some of the comments online. It's like if you're going like people kept saying about Cristiano, but Cristiano Ronaldo was putting it on people every game. Whether there's end product or not, but he was going past defenders on a regular basis every game. So it's like people, you kind of, as a teammate, I go, okay, I understand what you're trying to do, but then I want you to learn about the end product.
Yeah.
Whereas with Antony, he ain't been here 2 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
But he ain't really shown us yet in terms of
little
beating
leg flick.
people. He ain't really going at the fullback and putting him on ice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then when
Can
he does
he?
a bit of
Can he?
skill,
Can he?
Well, I think that remains to be seen. I think at Ajax, he was doing it. I heard Edwin van der Sar talking about the other day. He's probably one they missed the most because he can unlock things. He was the guy that would have that little bit of magic that would take a 0-0 and take it in his own hands. And so he's got to be given time.
I like him. I think he's, you know what I mean? I think he's a bit tricky. I thought he was really good against us, Arsenal. Like, I liked it. But in general, I want to talk to you about Marcus Rashford.
Before you go off this, right?
Go on.
But remember when Soccer AM used to be good?
Exactly.
And you had the showboat.
Yeah, showboat.
Right? That was what it was all about. JJ Okocha, what did he win in his career?
Nothing.
But we
the
loved
expectations
watching
are different.
him.
I'm
No,
talking about
but we love watching
expectations.
the guy.
I hear you. I'm all about that.
Ronaldinho was doing it as well. The best players of that generation, the ones that he
expectations
smiled
though,
and was doing mad skills and didn't care and
Yeah,
played
he
with
was winning World Cups, mate.
Yeah, but the thing
You know
is,
what I mean?
it's like
And trebles and that.
yeah,
with
but
Arsenal.
it's like England. We're all sitting here saying, please let them play with their handbrakes off. They're probably sitting there going, well, I'd love to be able to have the license to do something like that in
But
English shirt.
they made a semi-final and a final. They're allowed. I want to see some of that showboat.
Bring
It's different. It's all
entertainment
about where
back
you are.
to football.
I-
Leave
Okay,
out
so
the
you're
problem.
basically by that analogy, what you're saying
Go
there,
on.
Lee Trundle should never have done any skills in Swansea.
You shouldn't have done no skills.
Are you mad?
I'm not trying to see nothing from Lee Trundle.
No,
bruv.
Joe, come on.
No, I'm being
What
serious.
do you want? Do you want that boring,
No, but I'm
always
just saying-
safe, always
Safe.
right?
That's the way he plays, isn't it? It's the way he plays
Listen, I
football.
do.
That's
I
why.
actually do.
Boo.
I actually do.
Just get it to
I-
A to B.
simple. I don't want to see none of that stupidness here. I'm sure Roy Keane feels the same as I feel right now. I'm really, really sure about it.
Roy Keane had more than just A to B pass, mate. Trust me.
No, I know, but he wants to see his players. You played with Keno. Let's take it to a Keno segment. How did he feel about players producing skills? I'm sure he wanted to see end product and he didn't want to see it for no reason.
I'll give you a good example. He might have been frustrated with somebody, right? But I never see him shout at Cristiano Ronaldo for doing a bit of skill and it not coming off. Everyone looks at Roy Keane and says how brave he was as a player because of the thunderous tackles and whatnot, and rightly so, phenomenal, warrior. But he was as brave taking the ball in the moments when we were under the cosh. And that is as important, sometimes, if not more important, than a mad tackle going in and putting your head where it hurts. I want bravery in my team, people taking the ball and willing to take risks. In the final third, that's what you're bought for. The money you spend on a player in the final third is to take risks. You're sitting there going,
He
go
took
on.
a risk. He took a risk and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, but then
That's
he
what I'm saying.
should. But what I'm saying, if you beat someone down for taking that risk at that point, then if it didn't come off, he ain't going to do it again because he's scared of the backlash.
I don't
so you've got to
mind-
embrace it.
I don't mind you doing it again, Rio. I'm just saying, like, there's times in it, and you have to be able to read and smell.
So if
smell the
Ronaldo
game.
wasn't afforded the time
yeah,
and the loads of mistakes that he made in terms of final passes as a young player, 18 years old, growing up at Man United, he doesn't leave. Man United is the best player in the world.
yeah, I hear you. But if you look at where Man United are coming from this season, they're trying to re-establish themselves
where
as
we
a
was
proper
in
team.
2004,
We don't have
2005.
time.
You didn't win the league.
You don't have time, right, to be picking up pieces and because right now, if he does that, bosh, the opposition gets the ball, they go and they score.
was 3-0 though. The game
I know,
finished
but
3-0.
What I'm saying, all right, fair enough.
It's against
All right,
Sharif.
cool.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I hear you, but still, I forgot what the score
Do you
was
know
for a
what?
second. But
Listen,
seriously, yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo
You
used
lot
to
are
have
still
12
fragile.
shots a game
Yeah.
to score a single goal.
Yeah, Frank Lampard had
And-
similar ratio though.
But people would have been saying to him, stop him shooting. No, let him keep going. That's like Rio just said, that's bravery. He's like, I missed.
Bro,
Not asking me the ball again.
I don't want to see pirouettes, around the
Right.
ball and you ain't pulling them off. It's as simple as that.
No, do it.
Anyway,
Do it.
let's move it across
Go on.
to Marcus
Rashford.
Rashford.
85th anniversary of an academy product in every matchday squad for 85 years.
That's phenomenal.
That's his 100th Manchester United goal.
What a goal. You know what it was as well? It was the type of goal that everyone would have been going, I wish he could score that type of goal. If you're going to be Man United number 9 and you're putting your hat on that and you're going, I'm going to be Man United number 9. That's the type of goal now that you want to see. That proves to me that he's actually been looking at his game, looked at someone like Cristiano.
That's a Ronaldo goal.
That goal was a Ronaldo goal, but Roma away.
Look at the Newcastle game. He has that opportunity, doesn't score. His last 2 goals have been headers.
Yeah. I think I was really happy to see that. And I was even happier probably to see it finish 1-0 because it actually looked, okay, the importance of Rashford in this squad. I think that he gives us that extra something going beyond teams. But if he's added, what you want from young players and players that have been playing in the team from the day they come in, you want them to add pieces to their game.
Yep.
You want them to add layers to their game. What happens after the first season, a lot of players, they get worked out after the first season. Your first season in the Premier League, you're a surprise package. So you're doing stuff that no one's ever had any data to be able to look at, no video footage. But you're working on job to react to somebody. And obviously at this level, once they've done a bit of skill and they've gone past you and you're surprised, the ball's in the back of the net or his pass has been played. So you can't get back to rectify the situation. After a year or so, everyone's looking at you going, I know what your habits are, I know what you're best at, I know what you prefer in these situations, and break you down like that. And sometimes it takes players a bit of time to work that bit out as well, that they know me, I've got to bring something else to the table now. I hope that is where Marcus is at now.
No, and did you see his confidence when he scored? I haven't seen
that Marcus for
a long time. And I thought, you know what, we could do with him for England. So I think he's on the plane. I really do.
I thought he
wouldn't
was on the
be
plane
surprised
anyway.
if him and Jaden aren't on the plane, to be honest.
No, I think he was already on the plane, but what?
He has to be on the plane, I think.
Yeah, but whether he has to be or not, I don't think he will be.
Because you've got to have, if there's an element of form here. He's coming into form at bang on the right
Brilliant
time
form.
as well.
What's form for Southgate, though?
I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. But
because I'll tell you someone, we'll talk about him more when we get to Chelsea. I'll tell you someone who's definitely.
I know you're going to say.
You see my Instagram story?
No, I haven't. I've not looked at social media. I think you're going to say similar positions, Sterling.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you going to say?
Would you say Sterling's in form at the minute?
No.
Would you say he's on a plane?
Yeah. Does he deserve to be on the plane? No. The point is, does he deserve to be on the plane?
He does.
No.
Come on, man.
In general, he does.
How not? How does he?
He's having a little bit of a dodgy spell. He's just moved to a new club.
Exactly.
I knew you would say that he's having a little bit of finger, and I would like to bring stats to the table on this one. Raheem Sterling is playing exactly the same way he did at Manchester City. He's just not getting the opportunities that he got at Manchester City. It's a piece of piss to play for Manchester City.
Some of the stuff that this guy says. I've got to apologise for Steve sometimes on the show because his
missing,
loyalties to Man United.
He's missing the same amount of chances that he used to miss at Manchester City. He's just not getting the set. He's having like a shot and a half a game less.
I understand. I know. I get where you're coming up with the stats, yeah. But at the same time, what he offers
is it form or is it his level?
What he offers in an England team, the only person that offers that is Marcus Rashford.
And I don't even think it's the same.
I think
in terms of running behind, stretching teams.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But Saka has the pace, but prefers it to feet. Doesn't run in behind.
Yeah,
probably
Sancho
enough.
wants it to feet.
I don't think Sancho will go. But then you look at Grealish. Foden can go behind, but his main thing, he wants it to his feet. Mason Mount, if he plays up there, wants it to his feet most of the time. So Harry Kane always wants it to his feet, really. So you need someone up there who's going to be able to run in behind and stretch the opponent.
Jamie Vardy, let's go.
Yeah, only Sterling can get into the positions he does for England. As much as I complain about what he misses sometimes, like when he's in front of goal.
What's he good at? Let's talk about what they're good at, guys.
What I'm saying. I understand now. I didn't understand before, but now I've seen the light. He's the only player that can play. What? Sometimes you gotta learn. I've seen the light. He's the only player that can get into those positions. So as much as I complain about them, he might have 4, 5, 6 chances, but you know he's going to get you a goal because he's the only one that can get into that space in the first place. So
you
I'm with Rio on this one.
While we're on the England thing, Calvert-Lewin, is he going to have enough game time to get into the squad?
Hearing he might go.
I don't know what Southgate's relationship with him is like because I think he should have played him in the Euros and he didn't. But he's got a lot of options, and I think he'll just go with Old Faithful.
Who? Who's he going to go with?
Well,
as a number 9. Number 9.
Yeah. And then I think everybody else who's a number 9, you might as well stay at home, go and have some time off because you're not going to play. Well, Tony got a call up.
I'm hearing people shouting for
Callum Wilson.
But I don't think Callum Wilson offers more than Ivan Toney. For me, I like Toney's confidence. I think right about now, the swagger he's got, no disrespect to Wilson, but I've seen him in England camps and he didn't have the confidence of an elite player. Perfect example, Michael Ricketts. Remember him at Bolton? Bad boy in the Premier League. Scoring you goals every week for that season. You get him in the England camp. Were you in that England camp with him?
Yeah, I was there.
Bro, my man couldn't string 3, 4, 5 yard passes.
No, he walked it. You know, the England camp does funny things to people, man. And like, listen, Ricketts at that point was on fire for Bolton.
Mad.
Tearing it up. Comes to England, and he just looked like a guy who was a shadow of his former. He didn't look like it. The confidence just zapped out of him.
Some players need a bit of main man.
But it was like, it wasn't even on the training field. Not even in the game. In the hotel, I'm watching him, and it was like, the shoulders weren't back like I see on the pitch. It was a little bit like, should I be here? And it can be daunting. You're seeing players that you've never been around before and who are accustomed to this level and who are looked at as like big players and whatnot. And he's probably thinking, wow, like some players don't deal with that as well as others. And that's part of it. It's up there. You get into that building, you've got to be able to delete all of the history and the stuff you've seen with these players and say, yeah, I am on the same playing field.
And I deserve to be here. And I didn't see that, you know, when I saw Wilson training with the camp. But with Toney, even though I haven't seen him training with the camp, you know what he's like, bruv. You know what I mean? He'll cuss his own team, bro. He don't care. Like, he really has that confidence about him.
Why didn't he play him?
You know?
Yeah, but
why didn't he play
Tammy's been around this squad
Tammy
for time,
as well.
Man. Like,
you know?
What's Tammy doing? Just sitting
What's
there.
he got to do? What's he got to do to get on the plane? I think he's going to go as well. I don't know. If I see Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I understand that he's an option, a different type of option. But, bro, he doesn't deserve to go after what the other boys have been doing.
I don't know if he doesn't deserve to go.
No,
I think
he doesn't.
if I'm Tammy and if I'm Ivan Toney and if I'm even Wilson, I'm probably sitting there, vexed, going, whoa, hold on a minute.
The World Cup's in 2 weeks, you know.
I know.
Yeah,
we should probably do a video picking our England squads.
We're gonna have loads of videos. We've got legends that are gonna be joining up.
I know my England team now.
But I haven't finished with Man United because you know what? Cristiano Ronaldo, when he was warming up, I wanna get to this topic. He sees Louis Saha, your former teammate.
Shout out Louis Saha.
I don't know why he was wearing
What was you wearing, Louis?
A hoodie.
Louis,
with
what
with
was
a
you
blazer.
wearing?
I don't know about that.
Wow.
I don't know what they're doing in France.
Even my kid said to me, Dad, is this live? Is this real? Is it whoa, it's a warm up, Dad. I said, no, this is Louis Saha. That's what he does.
Is that what he used to wear like back in the day?
That was how he come training. Actually, he come very much smarter than he would come to training.
Really?
Yeah.
Mate, whatever was going on.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But
blazer
shout out
with
my
a
guy,
hoodie.
Louis Saha. I love him. Good
Baller.
guy. What a player.
Baller.
He actually, just before
Go on.
in training,
Yeah.
he was levels.
Yeah, you told me.
I remember Nemanja Vidic saying, Louis Saha, does it get harder than this?
Wow.
Like, he's the hardest player I've played against.
Really?
Like, bro, he used to be a madness. 2 feet.
He was an explosion, man.
He was a joke.
I liked him, man.
Only injury stopped him exploding and being an absolute crazy player for Man United.
You know how good he was? Is that he was that injury prone and he would say mad stuff where he'd be like, I don't feel like playing. I don't feel fit. And Fergie never launched him. That's how you know you're good.
He weren't that, I don't feel like playing. This guy cared, man.
He's like, I don't feel like
he's one of them guys who was, when I look back, at the time I didn't have no time to see it, but at the time, when I look back now, I could see there was pain in his eyes, man, because of the injuries, because he knew what he was capable of and he wasn't able to go out and do it because he was held back by injuries. This guy was as quick as anything out there, off both feet, stronger than almost anybody, knew where to run and his timing was mad.
So intelligent.
Oh, mad player. He could have been an absolute madness if he was
Played
fit.
about 25 games in 2008, didn't he? Played quite a few games.
He come on in game, change games enough times. Like, but I remember in training, he was probably the hardest out of all the players I played against in training
Really?
United as a striker. He's probably the hardest one to play against.
You said Rooney took a few moves from him as well, wasn't it?
Rooney took the ball when the ball come in. He'd take the ball that way.
Yeah.
Then the defender would come with you and then take it on the outside. Saha was the man at that.
Madness. So anyway,
Sorry, go on, yeah.
So he's there presenting. He's with the Sky Sports panel, and Ronaldo comes over, gives him the hug. Oh, United friends, hug, whatever. And then
Gary Neville got blanks.
Gary Neville.
Did Jamie Redknapp? You got me a love, yeah?
Jamie Redknapp got a
To make a point.
Oh, yeah, wait. All I know is that
Jamie
Gary Neville
Carragher.
was sitting there like a. Can we get a picture up, please?
Yeah,
He's sitting there like a nervous
Nev
schoolboy.
looked nervous.
Yeah.
I've seen that face before from Nev, but he looked nervous. Like, is he going to talk to me? I don't know. What
Rio.
to do. Like,
So the question is, right? Is Cristiano Ronaldo right for reacting like that, because you want to know what he said, right? You want to know why it's happening in the first place, right?
Go on then, tell the viewers.
Because Neville said United would be better without Ronaldo, and that the Premier League giants should end their relationship with him.
Steve basically said the same.
Yeah.
I absolutely endorse Gary Neville's message.
Right. So is it a problem that Cristiano Ronaldo's seen G-Nev and he doesn't like it, so he's blanked him?
There's many ways you can look at this, yeah? Right? And he's blanked him. He's premeditated 100%. When I go out there, and if my man's out there, he ain't getting a bar of love from me, right? And he just put it on him like that. And Neville's standing there going, oh, God, please say hello, please. And then it didn't happen for him, right? But there's a couple of ways to look at this. When I was a player, and you asked me off air before, how would I react to criticism?
Yeah.
Constructive criticism is fine. Someone says I ain't playing well. Someone says they should sell me a little bit or anything like that. I would use that as fuel. I would hold that, and that would be some negative energy in there for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That competitive edge. I don't know what it is.
And it's hard for you to then go and be.
And it would be hard for me. Yeah. If I saw that reporter, I'd pie him. The same as Cristiano did there. I'd pie him. But me being in the position I'm in now, I expect players. It's weird because I don't expect players to accept that. Yeah. You should accept that as part of it. We're here to. This is our job. We're here to critique your performance.
Yeah.
And critiquing performance alone, I think, should be fine.
Which he has done, to be fair. He hasn't criticised him personally.
Yeah. So it's I think this is really difficult. It's really difficult, this.
My thing is this, right? And I know everyone's going to go, oh, Rio, you're backing your mate again. But for once, I actually see it how you see it. Because the way I look at it is I find it difficult to like people who don't like me. Or if they're criticising.
Yeah, that's it. Human nature.
I'm not saying I can't take it. I'm just saying I'm not going to be going, like,
the flip side of this
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Surely there's a relationship between Gary Neville and Ronaldo. He's
mates?
a teammate.
Are they boys?
I'm sure they're not going out to menagerie every week.
No, they were teammates, but they're not like people that share texting and stuff like that.
Work colleagues.
Yeah, work, just work.
But I would have expected more from that, though. That him pieing him like that was a bit strong, I thought.
Yeah, I know. And Cristiano respects Gary as well as a player. He respects him as one of the senior players when he was at the club, 100%. But he wouldn't take kindly. He would use that as fuel. He would be going, no. And it's like if you was on your estate as a kid or from when you're growing up or whatever, right? If someone talks badly about you in your eyes, you just go, listen, that person ain't for me then.
Bro,
I ain't sharing a beer with you. I ain't going to be shaking your hand and saying hello. But in football, you're expected to. Do you know what I mean? To take it.
If someone's sitting there going, you shouldn't be on Vibe with 5, I'm not going to go, how you doing, mate? You're right.
Like my relationship with Jesse Lingard, for instance, and Paul Pogba, at times has been strained because I haven't agreed with some of the things that they've done, or I've questioned decisions or even performance at times. I've said, that maybe could be better or whatever. And them guys, they know me. I know them since they were kids, right? And I ain't got a bad bone in my body about these guys. I want the younger generation to do well all the time. But if I have to say it, they might be disgruntled, or people in their camp might be disgruntled. But deep down, in the long run, I know that it will come back to being, you know what, actually, Rio ain't really trying to hurt me. He's saying what he needs to say. Maybe it could have been said a bit different. Then we'll have a conversation. And that's what's happened with me and Jesse and Paul. There's been a conversation. I put listen, this is the way it is, man, or whatever. And then, I didn't really, or somebody in my camp didn't really like this. Conversations had, move on, it's good.
But will they have that conversation is the question. Is G-Nev going to pick up the phone and text Ronaldo? And
I don't think Cristiano's taking that call, bro. I don't think he would. If knowing him, I don't think he's, it's gone, isn't it? You said what you said. You believe what you believe.
He's unfollowed him. It's done.
I sit in a different finger with it because I try and put myself in that position. If
you are a liar because I've seen you on Twitter, bruv. Yeah. When people say anything towards Steve, bruv, you're the worst. You start snapping. I've had to tell you, stop responding to people.
Right, but if Gary Neville's there at the side of the pitch, I'm going to walk over.
But they ain't going to do that live on TV, bruv. You can't do that. You can't expect that.
I'm not going to be like, let's have it. I'm going to go, is everything okay? Or
But he can't. At least he's got the manners to not go and interrupt a Sky Sports flipping show.
I think what I would have done differently, if I was recreate that scenario with a reporter that I knew and had a little bit of a disagreement with on an opinion or whatever he said, I maybe would have gone on and shook a couple of hands and gone, you talk too much. See you later. and then gone. Like, just
That's
give him a little
typical Rio.
something.
Yeah.
A little something, just a little jab in there.
Yeah. See, I know I react, right? But I'm always going to front someone up.
You're petulant.
Mate, the worst, mate.
Or mental,
So,
whatever you want to go with it. But like,
nah, man.
I'm going to go and like, if
I
someone's
think
got
he's-
drama, I'm going to go and speak to him.
and
I'm not just going
and I'm
to,
just saying,
not just
I-
going to
I
like
think-
saunter
no,
about.
yeah.
and that's why I think he did the right. It's how he feels.
Or I'll go, have we got a problem? And I'll find out.
But that's even worse. Whilst he's working,
Right, but
putting the man up.
that's
Yeah.
not
Come
the
on,
only
man.
time they would have crossed paths at Old Trafford yesterday.
It would have been.
You reckon?
Yeah, because it goes to the studio, to the gantry straight away.
They'd have been in there for hours.
Look,
No,
Steve
but
trying to tell Rio.
But you're not in the
when
game.
Rio's
You're not
the
in the
one
game.
that-
You're not going to go to the game and go and search out someone when you're preparing for a game. If they're there, it was at the tunnel, just outside the tunnel, right there.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
But you know what? It's
Yeah.
I see why people would say, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. You don't need to do it." But I see as from a player's perspective,
A human
no
being's
player,
perspective.
human, and no player is happy when
Facts.
a pundit or someone in the media is criticising them.
Facts.
Speaking of critique, you've been getting pelters this week.
Who me?
Yeah, for
what?
defending Ronaldo. Which I think people have took it from a real extreme angle because you didn't. I think you was like...
My first comment was, "I don't
Ten
agree."
Hag is
And I don't agree with
It's
this.
because Rio's not trying to get pied like Gary Neville. That's
No,
why.
bro. Can't happen, bro. No, it's mad. Like, I don't understand why. Like, I said I don't condone his behaviour.
It's when you said
Immediate.
when
People
you
have to
said
Google
communication.
condone
When you said communication, people went, "Nah, forget that, bruv. They're not
Bruv,
having
I
it."
still stand by that. And I think, listen, Ten Hag is doing a marvellous job right now, yeah? But the Cristiano Ronaldo situation, I believe in time down the line, he'll look back and go, "I probably could have handled that a bit differently, a bit better. I think I could have." Ronaldo's on side because of his professionalism.
Is he onside?
Yeah, is he onside?
Well, he played the last 2 games.
No, he likes to play. It doesn't mean he's onside.
So that means he's on side because he's playing.
Nah.
Nah, I don't know about
Telling
that.
you.
I reckon as soon as that January window opens, he's on
I'm not
speed
saying
dial.
he's not going to want to leave or anything, or if things can't materialise in the next window, maybe. But I'm just saying, at this moment in time, Cristiano Ronaldo is preparing for a World Cup as well, physically.
Yeah, okay. So that could not be onside. He's onside for himself.
Onside means onside, no matter how you want to shape it.
Come on,
You know
Rio.
what I
Oh
mean?
no, Lionel's got his flag
Come
on.
on, mate. Come on.
There's no VAR in this situation.
How much is the retainer, mate?
No.
That's what I wanna know. How
No,
much
there's
is the
no VAR.
Ronaldo retainer?
No,
How
there's no
much?
VAR.
Yeah.
But like I told you before, yeah, I didn't condone the behaviour.
Yeah.
I think the manager could have handled it differently and better. Here we are now.
Here we are.
Graeme Souness, right? He's bigging himself up because he was the first to call out the pudding that Paul Pogba is. That's what he's just said on the radio today.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't said that.
He 100% has. And this is in defending him calling out Casemiro and Martinez. He's like, I was the first to call Paul Pogba. I should listen
What,
to
he's
him.
called Casemiro out?
Yeah, because he said he's a steady Eddie. He's not a good player.
Oh, come on, Graham, man.
And he said Martinez, not a good passer, and he's slow.
He's not watched the game. Graham, I'm sorry, and I like Graham, and I've seen him in Portugal not long ago. Good,
I don't like him.
what a player, by the way. Forget all that now. You got to watch the games, man. Got to watch the games. You can't be saying
watches
things
enough
like
games,
that.
doesn't he?
Can't be watching Martinez.
not.
Clearly
He's
not.
obviously not watching Martinez because one of his main attributes when you speak to anybody who knows the game, when he was even people at Ajax, what's his attributes? Main attributes.
Baller.
Great with the ball, will take it anywhere and can pass. Tenacious, aggressive, right? Can defend. Like but taking the ball and pass. To say he can't pass, did he really say that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not a good passer.
And-
not a
and-
good
and-
passer. And slow, and you're like, no, he's neither of those
Oh,
things.
and he said that Casemiro is a steady Eddie.
Steady Eddie. It's like I told you, he wasn't a good player. He's just a bit of a steady Eddie, like he was some sort of Nicky Butt player or something.
Mate, he's won 5 Champions Leagues, bro. I've been integral to all of them. Can't be steady Eddie.
Do you know what he's done? I've seen it because I've done it. Right?
I think he's deflecting like you're going to go in
100%.
it. See what I'm
100%.
saying? We're on the same page.
He's
Can you
like,
give me a 5, please. Yes.
He's just gone. Liverpool got turned over by Leeds this week. What can I do?
He's still
Talk
bad
some
about
shit about United because everyone will just ring up fuming. What are you talking about, Graham? Now I've not got to talk about Klopp shit in the bed again.
He's looking hits, and he's gone to TalkSport, and he just wants. He's been told to get hits. Can't.
Boy, that's something
There's no
else.
common sense in anything he's saying, is there?
Listen,
Man United won. Martinez was one of the better players in the Man United team as well.
All season. At the moment, he's player of the year.
Casemiro, since he's come in the team, has been arguably the most important player in the team as well.
Since he's
The
come
2 players he's picked out are probably the worst ones he could have picked out at Man United right now.
it's true.
And the other thing as well is when Maguire was out of the team, he was like, oh, he's got to be in the team. He's literally just gone, opposite world.
Well, boy, that's his job. I have to move it on.
Go on then.
To Arsenal 5, Nottingham Forest 0. Honestly, I want to give a massive shout out to Reiss Nelson.
Yeah,
because
big shout out.
I think...
Character.
Yes.
Personality.
Yes.
Added to the quality.
His journey.
As a kid, that he's always been talked about as being the boy.
Did you know about him when he was young,
Yeah. Shout out Reiss Nelson, man.
Who would tell you about him?
The streets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they know. They know. Like he was the name that was going around. You got him. You had like obviously Jaden was a bit younger, I think, than him.
Him and Jaden. There's always clips.
But
of
like,
them and stuff
yeah, around them times, Reiss. Do you know the boy at Arsenal? Reiss from South.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, and I'm proud of him because obviously I'm not saying he's arrived, but he's been on a journey. Halferman, Feyenoord, got to a cup final last season. He's done really, really well, and it must be hard. You don't know when you're going to get back into the team. You have to be ready. Saka gets injured.
The big thing for him, Joel, is he can't allow this to be just another moment.
Yeah.
This has to become not the norm, scoring 2 weeks a game, but the norm being relied upon him within Arsenal's setup. He needs to be the go-to guy if a Saka or Martinelli aren't fit, or if they're out of form, if the game's not going well, and then all of a sudden, then he's pushing to be a starter in this team because his potential as a kid that's what he's meant to be. That's what he's meant to be. But he has to now go on now. It can't be that you've had this moment now and then celebrate and then we don't see him again for another year. He goes on another couple of loans.
It's tough though because you've got the World Cup in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, so don't worry about that.
No, but what I'm saying is he's not going to be playing that regular football. As you know, momentum is everything. It's going to be tough for him. And on top of that, Saka and Martinelli, they are your key starters.
Yeah, but you just got to go do what you got to do. Do you know what I mean?
But he's not going to be able to do it. Obviously, he's going to have a couple games.
Up until the World Cup, do what you got to do. Still be in everyone's earshot. Still be in everyone's eye line. Create a couple of other moments now that people are talking about, not just the one that just gone this weekend. But at the same time, listen, everybody has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Like Saka and Martinelli are the guys right now. But before that, they were probably looking at it and going, how am I going to get in this team?
Yeah, it's true.
So he's got to be thinking, I've got to stick in and around this and just be a part of it and then start adding little levels.
Saka's going to play every game for England as well. You know that already.
If he's fit.
Yeah.
I think
did anyone see
I don't know how bad it is, but they're going to have to
let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments.
So I think this is going to be a really interesting thing, man, because I think that at least that first game back from the World Cup, you're going to see a lot of shaky 11s.
4 days
so people that have stuck behind, people like Reiss Nelson and Martinelli's no chance
for them, man. It's a chance for them.
They're going to play that game.
But that could destabilize the team as well. Like I think this season is so mental. That's why I was fuming when we drew against Southampton because you have to pick up all the points. I don't know what's going to happen when we come back.
I don't think we know. It could be just the same. It could be just it just pans out.
There's going to be people burnt out.
But
it's 100% some players are going to come about March. Yeah, come about March or something. Some players that have had a banging start to the season are just going to disappear.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
Antony partying in the streets of Manchester, coming back from Brazil in tracksuits. Oh, I can't take it.
If he wins a World Cup, let him.
Yeah. Man of the match, Gabriel Jesus didn't score, but most shots 7, most duels won 6, most tackles 3, most shots on target joint 3, 4 chances created, no goals but 2 assists.
But you know what though? I think you sound happy and you're boasting about that. I listened to your manager the other day before this game, and he said that we need our strikers scoring if we're going to be successful. We need them to score. That's a fact. That's the only area. I mean, listen, I still believe he's your most important player, by the way. Without him in your team, you are not the same team. But he just needs to add goals now. Yeah. Can't criticise him other than everything else he's doing is perfect.
Go on, Steve. Whilst you're bringing out the stats, I want to just put in Martinelli, another banging performance.
Bad player.
Thomas Partey carrying on, being probably one of the best midfielders in Europe. I mean,
you'd take him above Casemiro still, would you?
If you look at,
would you take him above Casemiro? Would you still?
As a whole, if you look at both their seasons,
would you take him above Casemiro?
8.5 XG. He's got 5 goals. Doing what he's done his entire career.
Would you take Partey above Casemiro? Is my question as a CDM.
Please include yesterday's first half performance in your thinking.
Yes, I would. Did you see the goal?
R.I.P. Joel.
Similar goal against Tottenham, bro.
R.I.P. Joel.
Yeah. Odegaard, great captain's performance. Someone once told me that the captain's armband was going to weigh heavy on him.
I didn't say it
That's
was.
Someone.
I said, get the clip. I said it could. There's a chance it could.
You
That's
were
what
more
I said.
definitive than that.
No.
You're bigging up your defensive midfielders for scoring goals and somehow praising your centre forwards for not scoring goals.
Wow. Contradiction.
You got this backwards.
Way,
it's backwards.
It's showing that our team can do everything, bro. You know, we don't have to be reliant on one player here or there. We're all chipping in.
I know what he can't do.
All chipping in.
Beat United.
You're a clown. You're a clown. Moving it on now. Oh, mate. Liverpool.
Do you reckon you'll qualify for Champions League, Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yeah, they will now, I think.
You reckon you'll qualify for Champions League?
Yes.
Yeah.
You do, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so annoyed that we dropped points against Newcastle. No, forget them games. We weren't good in them games.
No, yeah.
But we were good enough against Newcastle and Chelsea, and we deserved to win in both of those games. You give us those wins, or we somehow managed to get those wins, and forget the City game, because we was gashing that game. We didn't deserve to win. But those games that we did deserve to win, that extra 4 points puts us 2 points off City.
Yeah. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
If we'd have said we were 2 points off
I can't think
City,
like that along them lines. I've got to be honest. That's just wishful thinking.
it's hurting me that we dropped them points.
Liverpool 1, Leeds United 2.
Wait. Before we move on from Arsenal, Ruud van Nistelrooy gave you a lot of turning inside out.
Oh my God, midweek, you got pumped.
What is this?
It could have been 8.
I didn't even watch the game.
Could have been 8.
I didn't even
Wow.
watch the game. I can't lie to you. I didn't watch the
Ruud
game.
put on a clinic in
I
his
can't
voice.
lie. I
Javi
didn't
Simons.
Oh.
My goodness.
Do you know what? That's a child prodigy, a child superstar who's actually now coming good.
Yeah.
There ain't been many of them.
Isn't he
have
still
there?
about 18, 19 as well? He's not even
Yeah,
old,
like, you know, like a kid, like in like we've seen young players, like we've heard about, like Owen coming through and Rooney and Neymar and people like that, right? But this, in today's generation of Instagram superstars, he had about 4 or 5 million Instagram followers before he was 16.
Yeah.
Like everyone knew him. He had the
Barca
big
days.
hair at Barca. Then he goes PSG, doesn't really work out there. Then goes to PSV, and you're like, before he went to PSV, everyone's probably saying this guy's career is just going to be doing this now.
Yeah.
He ain't going to play. Promised a lot, not going to deliver. That game the other day against Arsenal, seriously, he had you lot on ropes.
I heard.
He was a joke.
Cody Gakpo as well, looking mint, been linked heavily with
to Man
United.
Yeah, I heard. Liverpool.
Who's the forward? Is it De Jong or something? What's the forward's name? What's the striker's name for him?
I can't remember.
He had just 2 centre backs. Didn't know what day it was. Serious.
Anyway.
Ruud doing bits as well.
Rude, yeah.
Ruud doing a bit.
A quality player becoming a quality manager.
Do you ever think he would be a good manager?
Another one. I did not expect Ruud. We've had him on the show. I never expected Ruud van Nistelrooy to ever.
He was under-19s manager at the time. We had him on,
be a
wasn't he?
manager. I thought he'd be a coach, maybe.
He's done his work though, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's gone and took it.
Steven Gerrard.
Stevie done that though, yeah.
Didn't he?
We'll talk about him when we get to Aston Villa, won't we?
Go on anyway. They got beat 4-0 this week.
Yes. What is going on with Liverpool though, man?
Wow. Like, the last 2 games, they've been beat by Nottingham Forest and then Leeds. 2 teams near the basement. Like,
Liverpool,
crazy.
They've lost that's their 4th game. They've lost their 4th game of the season. 2nd consecutive Premier League game.
No, it's Trent was back in the team.
Obviously after Forest. Leeds end Van Dijk's 70-game unbeaten streak at Anfield at the Premier League.
I've got to give it up to him. That is an unreal record.
stat.
That is an
Mad,
unreal
isn't it?
record.
Mad stat.
If I'm going to give anything to Liverpool, and I don't give a lot,
Liverpool
I
are now
will say
13
home
points
record
behind Man
spook.
City. Come.
West Ham got beat by Man United and he's come in the building. Wow.
Wow.
with sunglasses.
Put that down. Mate, nah, that's proper swag still. I can't lie. He looks good today. You're on my Instagram story. How you doing? Give us your thoughts.
West Ham didn't show much personality on the ball yesterday. I think teams that have gone to Old Trafford with no fear have done well this year, and I think West Ham at times weren't assertive on the ball. They wasn't taking the ball to taking the game to Man United, especially with like Harry Maguire playing. He ain't played for how many weeks and come back from injury. You got to test him. You know.
Late on they did, didn't they?
Late on they did, but if it wasn't for David De Gea, then it could have been a different story.
I'll talk to you later anyway.
Nice one.
When we're in the Champions League. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Anton Ferdinand. Where were we?
Slagging Liverpool off.
Yeah, so let's make it quick because we've got to wrap up soon. So you're slagging off Liverpool.
Finished, mate.
Finished,
Absolutely
done.
finished.
All right, you know what?
Klopp's got this 7-year cycle for whatever reason it is. And
You put a text in the other day saying that you think you've heard he's getting off.
no, I've not heard he's getting off. I just get the impression that I don't think they'd sack him. I think
No,
that'd
not this
go
season.
down.
They'll give him a season of grace.
I think that'd go very badly if they sacked him.
Yeah,
I've got a
So
WhatsApp group with all my mates I grew up with, about 7 or 8 of us, and there's a lot of Liverpool fans in there, and there's a couple of them whose heads have gone. Like devastation. Can't, Like, can't even put proper sentences together.
They're not saying Klopp out, are they?
No.
Okay.
They're blaming the hierarchy. The club ain't spent.
No.
The net
But
spend is terrible.
They just haven't spent properly.
Yeah, but or we should have bought more players. I told you this was going to happen, and like after being like, oh my god, Liverpool, we're back. Blah, blah, blah.
Quadruple.
Yeah, like we're going to win the
6 months ago.
quadruple. The best team that ever played football.
Yeah.
Mad.
Oh, I can baff in that.
Yeah. All right, listen. Leicester City 0, Man City 1. Kevin De Bruyne with the
Just before we move off the Liverpool
boy.
one, I don't think they'll sack him, but I could definitely see Klopp resigning. Especially if something like the Germany job comes up.
Where's he go though?
I think Germany. Part-time job.
Surely he's seen how good it was when he was winning when he was here. He wants to get that back and fight to get that back.
I don't see him going. I don't see him doing that to Liverpool.
You need to get Redmond on that.
Yeah, it's true.
A bit.
It's true. He'll be able to help us.
No, I was at the Man City Leicester game.
Yeah.
Leicester they put up a fight. They defended well.
They're going down though, aren't they?
No, they got too much to go down. They've turned the corner.
They look good now. What's your problem? Because you don't
Oh,
like
the problem
Rodgers.
is-
Four clean
Because you
sheets
don't
in the
like
last
Brendan
5 games
Rodgers.
it was
Because you don't like
before the
Rodgers, that's why.
weekend.
Nah, they're going down.
4 clean sheets before in the last 5
Nah,
before the
they're
weekend. But
Jamie Vardy's not
they're definitely better. I watched them against United, and they ran that little spell they had. They were terrible then.
Yeah.
And then at this game, they were in the game really. If the keeper Edison don't pull off that save, it could potentially be a 1-1 game because City didn't open them up, didn't carve them open properly.
Yeah.
It was one moment of brilliance from Kevin De Bruyne, which is expected now. He's created the most chances, got most assists in the league this year. The geezer is just like a Swiss Army knife. He's unbelievable.
But you said in an interview that you did with Pep, which is coming out on BT and 5, you said that Rio Meets. You said that he reckons Kevin De Bruyne could still be better.
Yeah, I think he still thinks there's more in the tank from what he's doing now. He still thinks he said, listen, I can't actually make him play better by training him or doing anything, but getting out there and just like little tweaks in the team to get me in good positions. And he said it's about that as well. Demanding from yourself out on the pitch more.
That's correct. But Kevin De Bruyne is like one of the... That shows how much of a serial winner Pep is, you know? Because if you're sitting there saying he could still be better, I'm thinking, how?
It's because he sees things in training, obviously. He sees things that he knows that he's probably thinking, I don't see that enough in games, and there's more than. You've got it, I need to see it more. How are you going to get it out?
How different did it look with Alvarez up front compared to Haaland?
Yeah, they played very similar. Still tried to play to get in behind at times and whatnot, but the timing of the runs and that of the passing and the run weren't perfect. And they played a couple of balls in the box that they would have played in with Haaland, but you think that he might have gotten the end of them. They're not as potent, obviously, without Haaland. No team would be without him. But do they still score more than 1 goal in this game if Haaland plays? I don't know. There was that lack of space in and around the box and penalty area that makes you think, I don't know. But the difference is when he's on the pitch, you can close your eyes and just put the ball in the box.
Yeah.
And think there's a chance he's going to get on the end of it. That's the big difference for
Great
this team.
positioning.
Everything else was he's gone through games and had 6 touches.
Before we move on from City, I just want to say James Maddison, what does he have to do to get on that plane?
Kick someone.
I don't know. He didn't play well at the weekend.
Yeah, I know, but overall, if you look at...
He's got too much sauce for Gareth Southgate. Guy has ready salty crisp. He's not interested.
I understand what you're saying. What he's doing, his stats and numbers and performances, especially recently, have been phenomenal.
Yeah. You got 26 man, by the way, Rio.
Form doesn't matter.
Before you're going to say what you're going to say,
all I'm going to say is,
man.
Who do you take out in that position, in the number 10 position?
I was going to say...
He's not going to play number 10. He's going to take 15 fucking defenders.
I hear that, but at the same time, I look at players and I think, do you really need to take a James Ward-Prowse? I know it's a different position, but do you really need to take him?
But it's a different position. Yeah, you do probably need to take him.
I just don't see him being used or being...
No, but he's not
5
that.
right backs.
I know, but it's not. That's not the. You can't say. Does he need? That's like saying. Does he need Aaron Ramsdale? If he
No,
so he can play.
No, it's not the same.
It is.
It's not the same.
Because Maddison doesn't play that position.
No, but anything can happen when it comes to goalkeepers. Someone can get sent off.
Do you know what I mean? It's like saying, does he really need to take Reiss James if he's got?
He's going to need to because right now Reiss James ain't in a good state.
But what I'm saying is that's not the point.
You ain't going to catch me out today, Ria.
It's a different position. You can't say, does he really need Ward-Prowse? If he's not going to play that position, it's a different. It's really,
who's ahead of him?
It's only really what we're talking about. Who do you take out?
Doesn't play with a 10.
Who do you take
Plays
out?
Harry Kane, who plays like
Grealish, Foden, Mount, Saka, Sterling.
I'm sorry.
Because that's the only attacking players he's taking.
I'm sorry. Ria.
Who do you take out? I'm not saying that. Who do you take out?
I need to look at the whole squad because I know there's players there that don't need to be there.
Well, we're going to do that video out.
We'll do that.
We can.
We're going to do
Honestly,
this video.
And
I like James Ward-Prowse. Don't get me. I mean, Maddison. I like him, right? And I think he's got huge talent. But it's where does he fit in this squad and then team?
Jack Grealish is lucky that he's playing for Man City. Put it that way, by the way.
Why?
Because
we had this discussion the other day. Okay,
if he wasn't,
yeah, what?
And he was at City, he was at Villa. If Southgate's doing what he's supposed to be doing, he gets dropped. Maddison comes in. Because you asked me who you're dropping out of all those players, and if I'm to be honest, then it's Grealish.
Right. So Grealish, yeah.
Do you agree?
To us, to people like us, Grealish, in terms of stats, isn't where he should be. Yeah. Is that right?
Understatement.
Yeah, okay.
His goalkeeper's got more assists.
All right. So he hasn't got enough assists and goals, right? But if you went to Pep Guardiola and said to Pep Guardiola, in your team, in the way you want to function, is he doing what you need him to do? The fact that he keeps on playing
He says it in public.
He says is yes.
I think he says it different in private.
Yeah, man. I don't think he's getting the most out of him, man.
I didn't say that. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is he doing what he's asked him to do for his team, and is he executing that part of it?
But the other thing is, City aren't England.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Were you talking about club football we're talking about?
Yeah. Real quickly. Brighton.
Oh, my God. Slapped up Chelsea.
4-1. Trossard with a goal.
I haven't heard, right?
Yeah, go on.
But I imagine the Brighton fans were giving Potter.
Yeah, they were. They
were booing him in that.
Booing him.
I thought that was hilarious, to be fair. That's just part of the
Well,
game.
they're going to, aren't they?
It's part of the game.
You got to expect
You got to expect that.
Trossard. How well is he playing, by the way?
If he's one of the players I heard that hasn't even had a bid for him since he's been there. Someone told me. This guy is doing major bits right now. If Potter don't go back there to try and sign him, I'll be amazed.
But do you think, there's not more to his game? That's why that's needed. That's why teams are not. And it's a question, by the way. I think he's brilliant at what he's supposed to do, which is put the ball in the back of the net. Well, he's been good during this period.
Hardest thing to do on the pitch.
But when I look at other parts of his game, I think they can still be a little bit better, a little bit sloppy sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes he's, for example, the way it's not.
The best part of his game is creative.
I know, but listen,
not scoring. He's just scored a few goals lately. He don't really score goals. It's not his game.
If you're looking at this season, because now they're playing him up top. Do you see what I mean? And he's doing it right now up top. But when I look at other parts of his game, I don't think he's the best one out when it comes to being creative. I think it's the other side. I think it's the flip side. I think the creative and the everything, the approach play in his game's unreal. I think the only thing I was asking for before was a bit more in product, and he's actually doing that now. I think even if you look at the build up to the goal, to his goal, he's losing the ball. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm looking at parts of his game where I'm like, you know what, if you're tighter in those areas, got a little bit lucky if I'm honest, but I don't know. We'll watch him. We'll watch him as the weeks go, and you'll see what I mean.
I can't believe other big clubs ain't. No disrespect to Brighton.
Are Chelsea going to make that top four?
There's a bit more to his game that he needs.
Them and Spurs are the dodge ones, I think. I think United look like they're going to get it.
Who?
Chelsea.
I don't know, man.
It'll be Arsenal and Man City.
Yeah.
Man United are the three ones I'd put my house on now. And then the fourth one I can't pick. Newcastle could come in there and take
Newcastle
it. They could,
really well.
We know
Beating
Europe
Villa
on the other side of Christmas.
Rattling through now, guys. Almiron doing a great
job
again.
Spurs came back into it. I had tweets ready and everything.
I swear, honestly, you know what I mean. Almiron still doing a great job since Jack Grealish has
I find it entertaining how much Conte is going to lose his shit when it goes, because it unravels proper, doesn't it?
Well, they've become a set piece team, haven't they? Best in the league at set pieces. Have they got Tony Pulis or Big Sam back in the fray somewhere? They are a set piece team now. Then they invested in like a set piece guru, isn't it? It's coming to fruition. He's doing his job. Yeah,
I need that.
Imagine being a set piece team and you've got Kane and Son in your squad.
Not bad.
But why not be both? Surely, as a football club, you want to be the best in all areas if you can be. No one's surely Pep shouldn't be too proud to think I can win on set pieces.
Listen,
Germany, before they won the World Cup, they invested a lot of time into set pieces.
Standards,
they're called in German.
Wrong.
Standards.
Callum Wilson.
Don't know why I know that.
Really quickly. Is he on the plane for you? Yes or no?
Don't know. Problem with Callum Wilson is fitness, isn't it?
He's fit now.
Yeah, but he's got 2 weeks left.
Come on, bro.
No, I'm just saying, if you're a manager, you're sitting there going, he showed me in recent seasons that he can't stay fit. So to go to a tournament, it's a risk, isn't it? But listen, on form, he has to be in that equation. He has to be. I think he has to go on form. He's scoring goals, man.
Yeah. Nah.
But then you look at other players like Tony. Tony goes. He doesn't know if Tony can put on an England shirt and it weighs too heavy for him.
Yeah, because he didn't bother playing.
That's what I'm saying. This just doesn't make sense to me.
Anyway, all right, cool. Let's move it on. Crystal Palace
No.
being Southampton.
Aston Villa. Where's your mate Stevie go now?
Don't know, man.
Who's having him now after that absolute car crash?
I don't know. He might have to go Championship. I don't know.
That's a shout for a minute.
But you say car crash. They got beat this week, by the way. Battered.
His fingerprints are still on it.
Yeah.
This guy, man, relentless.
That's disrespectful.
Michael Bale's the one that was the guy, and he's doing bits at QPR.
Yeah,
And that's what everyone said. Rangers.
Did they lose on thingy? Who did they play? Birmingham.
I'm not
I
sure.
think Birmingham beat them.
Mate, championships are battling it.
Honestly,
Gerrard
Anyway.
don't want none of that smoke in the championship.
Anyway.
I need to go Cyprus, somewhere like that.
Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 0, rattling through. Brentford 1, Wolves 1.
You're going to get some voice notes again.
Fulham 0. I don't care. Fulham 0, Everton 0. Ladies and gentlemen, Vibe with 5 complete.
Yep.
We
need to get with that England team soon. 2 weeks to the World Cup. We
we'll
go.
How mad does it feel? It's Halloween.
Yeah,
We're talking about the World Cup. What's going
We
on?
need to get an England squad. Pick our England teams.
We'll do it.
That go against each other.
We'll do it. Next week.
My team will bang your team out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Are you going to Southgate and go 5 at the back?
No. No, you got to play a team that's a shape that Southgate's likely to play.
Oh,
No?
6-3-1 or something.
Are you going to the World Cup?
We're all going to the World Cup, bro.
Just wanted to let people know.
I'm on your plane.
You ain't on my
I'm on
plane,
your
bro.
plane, bro.
You are not on my plane.
I'm on your plane.
You're not on my plane.
But that's what I'm hearing.
You're not going to be on my plane. Trust me.
What you said, you're going to stick me in like economy whilst you're in professional flipping business class.
I'm not going. No, I'll be in my own plane. That's why he won't be on my plane.
License fee money's gone mental.
Oh, no, I'm joking.
No, it's gonna be sick. We're gonna have like really, really good content.
You're
like,
definitely turning right and I'm turning left.
content.
Just know that.
Content's gonna be on fire. We're gonna be with legends. You coming out?
Yeah, but I'm going to stitch him right up. Like, if you pack this bag yourself, he's like, what? Yeah?
It's gonna be sick, man.
Don't
Honestly.
leave your bags around.
Yeah.
But if you want that content, please make sure you turn on your notifications. It's gonna be banging.
A month full of madness.
A month full of madness. Can you imagine all of us out there?
5 with 5 on the road.
It's gonna be crazy.
Jokes.
Guys, signing out. Joel Beya, Stephen Howson, Rio Ferdinand. We will be back next week. Peace.